We use a piece of kit now called a ground microphone, which is basically a microphone that you place on the road surface. I used a ground microphone once at the Oval, the interchange there with the Oval on Camberwell Road, I think it is. And I thought I found this leak, and it turned out that the noise sort of went shortly afterwards, and I thought, well, perhaps, I'm listening to something strange. And I went back to this noise about 15 minutes later, and it was there again. And every 15 minutes this noise was there and kept on going away again. And I thought I was cracking up, but it turned out to be the underground station. And it was a tube actually coming in every 15 minutes that we was listening to. So it was a good job we didn't mark the spot at that location, because I think they would have found an underground train rather than an underground leak. Can you hear anything? I mean, that's the worst thing that anyone can do when you're concentrating listening on a valve. Someone badgering you, what can you hear? What can you hear? And that's why a good leak detector would like to work by himself.
It's confirmed. One's Aidis
Listening,
stick,
that's all you'll be doing.
Sorry, that's probably Aidis.
Yeah? Is that your stick? Ears would always be important. Have that one, it's full of noises, that one. You keep tuning into that noise. $20,000 miles or 31,000 kilometres. That's the amount of pipe work that we've got to look for leakage on. I think more and more the art of the hearing is slowly going to fade away, because there's new equipment available on the market now. There's a piece of kit called aqualoggers. And the aqualogger does the work of a technician. It switches itself on at 2 o'clock in the morning and switches itself off at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it records the noise levels at that location for a period of 2 hours. Even with all that, even with all the full range of equipment, which costs thousands and thousands of pounds, the technician would check that the leak is actually there by using his £1 listening stick. Ears would always be important. The leak noise correlator is a computerized leak detector, and it compares the different noise levels and the time it takes to get from one valve to another, and does a comparison between those two noises. There was a formula in the sort of very old days. We had the original correlators. There was a formula that we had to use, and it was a distance minus the velocity multiplied by the time delay, all over 2. But the correlator does all that for you now. I don't necessarily like the sound of running water. As kids, we'd mess around in the river. I've always liked the river. We sort of spend our weekends now as a family, maybe going to Greenwich and Greenwich Park and looking at the river and the Cutty Sark and all the history that sort of goes with it. I don't necessarily like the sound of running water. We enjoy the family atmosphere. There was sort of peaceful sort of family life. There was sort of peaceful sort of family life. I don't actually find the noise of running water relaxing. Family atmosphere. If I heard a noise of running water, I'd think it was a leak and have to investigate. So that certainly wouldn't be relaxing for me. There was sort of peaceful sort of family life. I don't necessarily like the sound of running water. I'd have to investigate.